The Texas-Colorado River is a vital source of water for Texas communities, recreation, economic development, and in Matagorda County, it's a main source of water for farmers and their crops.
25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel now with the power of water, a 25 News Now extra.
Water is central to human survival. With it, we thrive. Without it, we die. The arteries of the land which quenches our thirst, waters our crops, and supports our economy. Here in Texas, one of the main arteries, if you will, is the Texas-Colorado River. Over 800 miles long, it's the longest river to start and end in Texas. Aside from supporting human life, it supports many major industries here in Texas. Recreation and tourism, the seafood industry, and a major economic driver here in South Texas, agriculture. Daryl Franzine is a third-generation rice farmer in Collegeport, a small community in Matagorda County, which is where the Colorado River Basin is located.
Rice has been a major crop here. It's mainly rice and cattle country.
When water levels in the primary storage reservoirs in the lower Colorado River Basin, Lakes Buchanan and Travis, drop in response to insufficient rainfall, the drought management plan is implemented. This plan sets a threshold for curtailment of irrigation water for agriculture. And this year, the lake's level didn't meet that threshold. Bad news for farmers like Daryl.
It needed to rain. It didn't fill the lakes up to the threshold. So on March the 1st, they made the announcement that we'd be curtailed for this crop year.
Starting in 2012, Daryl had to endure 4 years back-to-back with no rice farming, simply because the river didn't have a sufficient water amount for the crops. And again this year, a troubling trend. The eldest Franzine brother, GW, has farmed alongside his brother Daryl since their father taught them how to farm rice at a young age, and he knows that Mother Nature is on her own schedule.
You're always working with Mother Nature, so you never know what the weather's going to do anyway. But when you get a trend where you're not having the inflows into the lakes, there's always the possibility that there won't be water.
Matagorda County Extension Agent Greg Baker works closely with the ag producers in Matagorda County, whose ag industry annual value is $330 million. So even going just 1 year without being able to farm a crop like rice can be a huge economic hit.
The direct impact to the farmers is $33 million. And there's just a handful of rice farmers left, so that large amount affects a small amount of rice farmers.
And it's not just the rice farmers losing out. It's a butterfly effect that ripples through the industry and environment, also impacting the oyster and shrimp population in the bays.
Then you get the trickle-down effect. You have to figure out anything from the rice dryers to the tire shops to the dealerships, the mechanics working on the equipment.
At one time, Matagorda County had close to 20 planes that would apply pesticides and fertilizer to rice crops, and with water curtailment, that number has dwindled down to just 2 planes. There's a great need for the river water before it even gets to Collegeport, so being near the basin makes it difficult for the farmers in South Texas.
Lots of hands that have their hands out for water, because water is the fabric of life,
It's easy to take water for granted, but for farmers, they know it's costly. Water from the river isn't free. The LCRA charging it by acre foot, which is a foot of water to cover an acre of land, costing farmers like Daryl around $250 an acre. And like most things these days, the cost only going up.
When we get water again, I'm sure the rate is going to be increased as well. So it can get to the point that it may be not be feasible to even irrigate because it costs too much.
Rice farming has been Daryl's livelihood, so he's passed on that generational knowledge to his children and grandchildren who want to continue the family tradition.
They would all like to farm, but with the economics right now, they need outside income to raise their families, so it's just not enough to go around right now.
Even though rice farming and irrigation technology has and is advancing, that still doesn't change the fact that America's farmers are hurting, and rice farmers like the Franzine brothers will have to endure another year with no crops.
We like farming rice, but unfortunately, we're not going to this year.
So you now have a glimpse of the power of water here in South Texas and how heavily these communities rely on the Colorado River right here behind me. So where do we go from here? Well, that answer lies in whatever Mother Nature has in store for us and humanity's ability to adjust and adapt to an ever-changing environment and the constant ebbs and flows of water. Reporting in Matagorda County, I'm Adam Seibel, KAVU TV 25 News Now, in conjunction with ABC News, the power of water.
And now here is your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to participate right now. The question is, are you concerned with water availability, yes or no? We take a look at these results and 63% say yes and 37% say no. We want to hear your opinion tomorrow in our latest viewer poll.